Hey, P2G fam, this is your neighborhood CCRC, Mr. Gene, coming to you live and in the place to be with Kenny in the cut. This is episode 2. Shout out to all the scholars and the staff who tuned in to episode 1. The feedback has been overwhelmingly positive so far, and I'm excited to bring y'all some more shows as the season progresses and as the weather gets warmer. Whether you're watching this before the break, or during the break, or after the break, I should say, I hope you enjoyed your spring break. I hope you got a chance to do some nice things, enjoy the weather, and spend some time with your family and with your loved ones. So, and also I just want to shout out everybody who's been supporting the platform from day one. If you haven't already, like and follow, subscribe to our P2G YouTube channel where you can see Kenny in the cut. You can see all of the previous episodes from the prior seasons. So, like, follow, and subscribe. Keep those notifications on so when I drop those new episodes, you get it, you can watch it, boom, right to your phone or wherever you prefer to stream your favorite content. So that being said, today's episode, I want to talk about the post-secondary piece. So the post-secondary piece is something that I came up with while I was preparing my Beyond Pathways workshop last school year. The main purpose of it was to break up life after high school into specific areas that key in to living a balanced adult life. I originally started with 3 Ps, which was professionalism, personal, and priorities. But as I moved forward with the workshops at different sites, additional Ps were being added. And they were being added organically. Shout out to the P2G Scholars coming through when we had those conversations. When those conversations were expanded, new P letters were being added, and all of the P's are basically helping to define more clearly what we're trying to get out of our lives, especially after we leave these hallways, because it gets real out there, and sometimes you got to create your own navigation. So let's get right into it, right? So the original 3 Ps was professionalism, personal, and priorities, right? And as time went on, we added purpose, passion, perseverance, and positivity. Like these are like just 4 of the Ps that were added. I think there's a couple of other Ps that were added that's not coming to me, but those were like really the 4 Ps that stood out to me. So I'm gonna just jump right into it. So, like I said, with the first 3 Ps, we have professional, personal, and priorities. Now, with professional, that's something that we at CCRC and WFD, shout out to the B7 Posse, us at the B7 Posse, we focus on whether it's workforce development, whether it's college and career readiness, or just overall skill development. So we're big on just developing that professional aspect of our lives. And we encourage our scholars to do the same. So the professional aspect is usually covered in college, trade school, employment, entrepreneurships, internships, and volunteer work. All of those things are professional spaces in one way or another. It's different type of professional spaces, but they're professional spaces nonetheless, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing what you got to do on that aspect, right? So if you're in college, you want to make sure you're taking care of what you got to take care of academically. Trade school, learn that trade so you can get your certification and go out and be employable, right? You got a job, do what the job describes, develop the skills so you can match the job descriptions and you can give yourself an opportunity to make a decent living. Internships, you're developing skills so you can give yourself an opportunity to get a job or to get into a career. Volunteer work, same thing. All that got the same energy. You can get a lot of different things from those experiences. Most notably, we're going to probably talk a lot more about that in priorities, but the professional life is important. Personal, we balancing out social, emotional, mental health, and relationships we have with our family, friends, and community. That's just the personal aspect. We're talking about self-development, self-growth, the growth of ourselves and the villages and the communities that we come up in. Making sure that's also good because no one's an island. Shout out to the SEL team. We do SEL push-ins every month, and a lot of the SEL. I think the SEL is just as important as the post-secondary actually works together, because how you gonna be your best self at that job, in school, and things in your personal ain't really going the way it needs to go. Those two things are definitely correlated, and there's been a lot of data and research in more recent years that's been connecting the SEL and mental health with productivity, performance, and just overall well-being. So you want to make sure that that P is taken care of as well. And you could talk about priorities. Priorities goes down to see these are the things that we can also develop. They go that beat, you know, you know where we at. Um, Time management, budgeting, decision making, hard skills, soft skills. These are all things that can be developed in these professional spaces, but these are things that are priorities. They're skills, but they're also priorities. Now, you need to know, like, hey, knowing how to manage your time. Sometimes you got a friend calling like, yo, hey, I want to go and do this. Let's go out. Let's go turn up. Let's go out. We outside. But I can't be outside like that right now because I got A, B, and C to do. That's you prioritizing. Also, you managing your time and making decisions. So you got to make sure that all of those things are intact. You got to move tact with those, right? Make sure your decision making skills is up to par. Make sure you know how to budget the money you get in the bag, but how you spending it, that matters just as much. So make sure your priorities is in order. Making sure that if you got to take families the priority, you got to make sure they good and they taken care of. Hey, you got to do that. If you got to make sure that assignment is in on time, hey, you gonna make sure you're gonna do that. If you got a project due at work, make sure, hey, get it in, get it done, do your best. But just prioritize it. That's the most important thing about about priorities. Now, the other four that we added now, I feel like it's an underlying current to the first three, right? When we're talking about purpose, passion, perseverance, and positivity, um, those are underlying things. That's when you like to, if you want to get very deep, right? Some people like to start with those. Some people like to finish with those. But for the sake of this video, I'm finishing with them. um Purpose, right? What's your purpose? Right? You wake up every morning, right? You're waking up to go to school, right? Why are you going to school? So you can learn. Why you learn, right? So you can graduate. Why you want to graduate? So you can go to college. Why do you want to go to college or trade school? So I can get the skills that I need to get a good career. Why do you want to get a career? So you can make a good living. Why you want to make a good living? Is because you want to take care of your family. So there's purpose on purpose on purpose. Purposes change. Sometimes purposes stay tapped. But what's your purpose? You getting up every morning and you getting up to do what? We can vibe, but you can't vibe your whole life. So I'm gonna just say this again: you can't vibe your whole life. What's the purpose? Eventually, you just can't be doing stuff just to do it. You gotta have a purpose. You gotta have a purpose. You gotta have a purpose. I can't emphasize that enough, right? And then with that purpose, you got to have some passion behind it. You got to have some passion behind it. It's very important. You show me somebody that's living a passionate life, I'll show you a coward. And I'm not with that cool for school stuff. Even from the time when I was young, I always knew what I was passionate about. And I looked at it and I wondered why it was harder for other people to connect with their passions. And there's a lot of different reasons why. We can get into that in a whole nother video. But you know, stay connected to your passion, develop a passion. You may not know what your passion is, what your purpose is. You may not know what it is now, but keep your mind and your heart open. It's going to find you. And once you find it, you know what I'm saying? Harness it and develop it, right? Harness it and develop it. And in the context of all of that, you're going to deal with some things. We're talking about perseverance here. You have to persevere to live you have to persevere to live your purpose. You have to you have to be passionate to persevere to live your purpose, right? So you're going to deal with some bumps in the road. You're going to hear some mental challenges, some emotional challenges, some communal challenges, some challenges from other people that don't want to see you succeed, whether in the small, which is called the micro, or the big, which is called the macro. Either way, you still got to deal with that challenge of trying to persevere to get to your goals and live the life that you want to live and keep your P's aligned. And through it all, you gotta keep the faith. And some people like to. This is where the last one comes in: positive. being positive throughout it all, right? Because we could talk about perseverance as basically doing the things that we want to do on the days we don't want to do it. But at the same time, we could also talk about being positive and not just being overwhelmingly positive all the time to ignore the negative, but being positive in the sense of keeping the faith and having belief and spirit in the mission, right? You have spirit, you have that spirit to keep you going when you feel like you can't go. So in the grand scheme of things, no matter what we're going through, just keep the faith, remember your purpose, pursue it with passion, stay positive, persist through it all, and keep your priorities aligned. And I'll try to find a way to connect all the P's. But the main thing I'm just saying is just try to keeping these P's aligned are very important, right? Professionalism, personal, priorities, purpose, passion, perseverance, and positivity. Very important to keep those things aligned. And you are going to give yourself the opportunity to do a lot of great things in life, right? Everybody's going to get an opportunity to do a lot of wonderful things. Some of y'all are going to achieve your goals. Some of y'all are going to achieve successes, right? I say everybody is because that's just the type of person I am. I believe it. The main thing is what type of person you are going to be. Are your P's going to be aligned by the time you get there? I want your P's to be aligned so that way you can really enjoy the fruits of your labor. You don't want to start doing all of that heavy work when you get to your success. Now, if you can get to your success without doing all that heavy work, hey, shout out to you. But you're not really going to enjoy it because, damn, you're going to be like, damn, I got a lot of spring cleaning. I should be out here celebrating, but I got to align my P's so I can really enjoy it. Do it now. Do it before you get there. That's the work. That's getting it out the mud in the truest sense of the word. That's getting it out the mud in the truest sense of the word. So give yourself that chance because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, what more can I say? I could say a lot more, but I'm a little strapped for time right now, and I don't want to keep on going. But let me just say this at the end of the day. Mark Twain said, the two most important days of your life is the day you're born and the day you find out why. Right? After you find out why, keep your P's aligned because that's going to help you get to the next step. Right? And yeah, man, you can just give yourself those props, right? On those tough days. Give yourself those props because that's going to help keep your P's aligned because you're taking care of your social, emotional, and your mental health. But you're giving yourself those props. But and just also keep everything where it needs to be. That's going to come with the decision making as you get older and you navigate the world and you learn through error and stay in mind and staying intact with what you need to do. So, you do those things, it ain't always going to work, but the thing is you just got to keep on moving. So as long as we keep on moving, and there's always a tomorrow, even though we're not promised it, but if we get it, we got to make the most of it. So on that note, this has been episode 2 of Kenny in the Cut. Once again, shout out to all of the day one watchers, all of the staff, all of the scholars, all of the graduates, all of even the people outside of here. I actually got a chance to watch it and heard about it. Thank you for all the support. I'm going to be getting ready with some more stuff. I got something really, really good cooking up. So I can't wait to get started on it and give it to y'all. But once again, if you're not doing it by now, like, follow, and subscribe. It's right there, right? Says it like we got the YouTube channel P2G Queens. We out here. It's about to be graduation season. Shout out to the class of 2023. It's about to be on. Weather's getting warmer. So stay in touch, right? Because we about to come through with a lot of stuff. And if you want to catch up on all the other old episodes, it's all on the page. It's all on the page. I got 3 seasons, got a lot of good content, and I can't wait to bring y'all more of it. So until next time, this is your neighborhood CCRC, Mr. Gene, telling you be good, be great, be legendary, And like Harriet Tubman said, we out.